Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the CIGA Design Blue Planet Gilded Age. This watch will be available from CIGAdesign.com for $1,999 US. From the 12th to the 14th of March, the price will be discounted by $100 US to $1,899 US respectively. So firstly, let's look at the box that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the other items one gets with the piece. So the CIGA Design Blue Planet Gilded Age comes in a cardboard watch box, which is in the form of a book, and the book is protected by this cardboard outer sleeve. And as you can see on the front of the sleeve, we have the GPHG award. The Blue Planet titanium version, which I previously reviewed on a fluoro rubber strap, in 2021 won the GPHD Challenger Award, which is very prestigious. So GPHD stands for Fondation du Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de Genève, and naturally CIGA Design are very proud of this. They've won a plethora of design awards over the years, but the GPHD Challenger Award is the most notable of those awards, and it was an incredible achievement for a Chinese brand to attain because they were competing with the very best of Swiss brands in Geneva in Switzerland. So, with regards to the watch box, as you can see, it's in the form of a book and it says U Series Blue Planet Gilded Age. Inside we have the planet Earth, and we have an explanation of the inspiration for the Blue Planet U series of watches. We have planet Earth in the future. We also have the details of planet Earth, and I'll show you the next page. We have mankind has only one Earth, and it's translated into a plethora of foreign languages. And then inside we have the specifications of the piece. And we also have three cutouts, one for the head of the piece, which is made from ceramic, one for the fluoro rubber strap, and also one for the ceramic bracelet, which are fitted to the head of the piece. So let's look at the fluoro rubber strap. Nice to get this included as an alternative to the ceramic bracelet. So fluoro rubber is stiffer than silicone rubber, and it will break in with daily wear, but it does feel noticeably stiffer. But the benefit of using fluoro rubber is it's higher quality than silicone, and therefore around the spring bars it doesn't tend to split and crack as per silicone, but it is softer than vulcanized rubber, which is the other alternative. So really, fluoro rubber is a compromise between silicone rubber, which is softer, and vulcanized rubber, which is harder. Perfectly smooth on the top side. It's got some extra thickness around the spring bar end, plenty of holes to allow for fine tuning the length, nice taper to it, and it's a 22mm width. It's also got a cutout which allows for air circulation and sweat and perspiration to wick away from the wrist. I'll show you the buckle and tang side. The buckle and tang side is embossed with CIGA Design to high standard. Quick release stainless steel spring bar, so one doesn't need a spring bar tool to remove it. And we've got two keepers, one slides as one would expect, and one is fixed. And good attention to detail, because on either flank of the fluoro rubber strap we have two nubs, and the first keeper engages between the two nubs on either flank, and that prevents it from sliding out of position. Now with regards to the buckle, as you can see, it is finished to a very high standard and engraved with CIGA Design, and it is a credible alternative to the ceramic bracelet. So very soft and supple, but not as soft and supple as a silicone rubber strap. And in the cutout for the strap you can also see there's a resealable bag which has an extra quick release stainless steel spring bar. So I'll show you the last page. Now, inside the last page you have details of how to read the time and also set the time, and also details of how to fit the bracelet and also the fluoro rubber strap using the quick release spring bars, and also some daily maintenance and care instructions. So very well thought through, clear concise diagrams and clear instructions in English. So very good presentation, and they deserve full credit for coming up with an original watch box in the form of a book rather than using just a default plastic or cardboard watch box. So with regards to the specifications of the piece, this is the CIGA Design Blue Planet Gilded Age. As I've detailed, I previously reviewed the CIGA Design Blue Planet, which was a titanium head of the piece on a fluoro rubber strap, but this case is made from solid ceramic, and also the bracelet is made from solid ceramic. The dial is 24 karat gold plated, and also the 2-button push deployant clasp is 24 karat gold plated to a flawless finish. So with regards to the specifications, we have a 46mm case diameter. We have a lug-to-lug measurement of 40 millimeters, a thickness of 15.8 millimeters, and a lug width of 22 millimeters. The ceramic bracelet tapers from 22 millimeters at the lugs down to 20 millimeters at the 2-button push deployant clasp. And as I've detailed, the 2-button push deployant is made from solid 316L grade stainless steel, which is then mirror polished to a flawless standard and then 24 karat gold plated throughout. Every facet of this deployant, as you can see, is 24 karat gold plated, and the quality of the gold plating is absolutely incredible. It's just gorgeous, beautiful luster to it, and the 24 karat gold has a beautiful tone to it, so it's very aesthetically pleasing. Good foam resistance to the 2-button push triggers, and both halves snap shut with a nice positive click, so it's not going to accidentally deploy if one presses one trigger or the other. One has to give both triggers a good firm press to deploy both halves of the deployant. So very well executed, very well finished, and the 24 karat gold plating is absolutely flawless. Now, with regards to the dial, it's my favourite aspect of the piece. I understand that this dial, which is 24 karat gold plated, takes an incredible 68 hours to produce. So each one of these dials takes 68 hours to carve and then also 24 karat gold plates. And as you can see, the quality of the gold plating, which has a 3D effect to the planet countries, is absolutely gorgeous the way it catches the light. We have a double dome sapphire crystal with clear AR coating on the underside, and the clear anti-reflective coating does an outstanding job of reducing the glare and the highly reflective nature of the double dome sapphire crystal. It's got a lip which projects above the head of the piece, as you can see, and I like the way the beveled edge to the sapphire crystal catches the light, very aesthetically pleasing, and it's got a nice high domed profile which curves above the planet, as you can see. So we have two registers with regards to the chapter ring. The outer ring is the hours and the inner ring is the minutes. And if you look at the compass style pointer, you can see it points to both the minutes and the hours. So with regards to the crown, it's solid ceramic and it's a push-pull crown rather than a screw-down crown, which provides an effective hermetic seal to 30 meters, which is perfectly acceptable for a daily wear piece. Putting it out to the first click position is the time setting position. So as you can see, when one rotates the crown anti-clockwise, it makes the earth spin clockwise, and it also cycles through 24 hours of the minutes, as you can see. So the crown rotated anti-clockwise makes the earth and the minutes ring spin clockwise. When one rotates the crown clockwise, it rotates the earth and also the minutes ring anti-clockwise. So it does take some getting used to, because with a 3-hand watch automatic, one is used to the crown rotating clockwise and the hands rotating clockwise, but this actually rotates the earth and the minute ring in the opposite direction to what one would expect. So one can cycle clockwise and anti-clockwise to set the time using the pointer. It does feel very smooth. In terms of resistance, it feels very similar to a Sellita SW200-1 or an ETA 2824-2. That's the kind of smoothness we're feeling. It does feel smoother than the Seiko NH35A. Nice light resistance, there's no friction in the gearing to the movement. And there's no backplay clockwise and anti-clockwise. There's an immediate response when one rotates the crown. The minutes ring and also the earth immediately begin to move. So there's no backplay to take up in the movement. So reading the time does take some getting used to. So first of all, I'm going to set it to 12 o'clock and then I'll explain how one reads the time. So if you look at the compass pointer now, if you look at the outer ring, which is fixed, you can see the compass points at 12 for 12 o'clock, and it's now on 00 minutes. So when one rotates the crown anti-clockwise, you can see the minute ring slowly moves round. So we're now at 12:05, 12:10, 12:15, 12:20, 12:25, 12:30. So it does take some getting used to. And I'll now move it to 6 o'clock to show you what it will look like. So one cycles round, so the pointer is at the 6, and then I'll just move it back to 00. So if you look at the 6 o'clock position, you can see the pointer is now pointing at the 6 hour on the outer ring and 00 on the inner minute ring, which rotates, and this denotes that the watch is now at 6 o'clock. So it does become intuitive with practice. For example, if the pointer is pointing directly to 12, you know it's 12 o'clock. If the pointer is pointing directly at 6, you know it's 6 o'clock. Although it does take some time to read the time, even when familiar, it's not as easy to read as a three-hander watch with an hour hand, minute hand and second hand, but that is a characteristic of the Blue Planet and this Blue Planet Gilded Age. The movement has hand winding and hacking, so pushing it in has a nice positive click. So in the closed position, one can manually wind the CIGA Design Automatic to top it up to its maximum 40-hour power reserve. Nice firm resistance, one can feel the tension in the mainspring gradually building up. It does feel very similar to manually wind to a Sellita SW 200-1 or an ETA 2824-2. That's the kind of feeling, and one can feel the tension building up. So it's a very pleasant movement to manually wind it to its 40-hour power reserve. Right, so I'll show you the case back. We have a screw down exhibition case back which is glazed with mineral crystals. So we've got double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating on the front of the watch, mineral crystal glazing in the exhibition case back. And as you can see in the centre, we also have the printed GPHD Challenger Award 2021, which CIGA Design are very proud of. The exhibition caseback does a good job of displaying the calibre. As you can see, we have milled stripes on the rotor, which is very nicely decorated. The milled stripes look like Côtes du Genève. And if you look at the bridges to the movement and the main plates, you can see it's also decorated to a good standard with pelage finishing. So it's a very well executed movement and it's very well designed and finished, as you can see. So I really like the use of the exhibition caseback. Rather than being a bubble back case back, it's very flat and low profile and it sits very smooth against the wrist. There is a slight dome to the mineral crystal glazing to it rather than being perfectly flat, but it does feel very smooth and very comfortable against the wrist, and it does do a good job of displaying the decorated rotor with the milled stripes. And also they've printed in gilt sapphire crystal designed by CIGA Design and also the specification 380M, which is 30 metres. So very nice finishing to the underside of the head of the piece. We've got quick release stainless steel spring bars in the end links to the ceramic links of the bracelet, and that means one doesn't need a spring bar tool, so there's no risk of damaging the ceramic head of the piece or the bracelet. You're not going to chip or crack the bracelet or the head of the piece using a spring bar tool. So they've made the correct decision, and there's a beautiful smooth finish to the underside. The bracelet doesn't pull arm hairs, no sharp edges to the flanks. I'll give you a wrist shot and you can see how it fits on my 8-inch wrist. Now, I haven't sized the bracelet. I've simply taken the bracelet and fitted it to the head of the piece out of the watch box. The deployant snaps shut both halves with a nice positive click. And as you can see, plenty of links in the ceramic bracelet. This will easily fit up to even a 9-inch wrist. I can easily slide an index finger beneath the deployant clasp and bracelet, and this easily fits my 8-inch wrist. Plenty of room for wrist expansion. Now, the industry standard is 22 down to 18 millimeters, or alternatively 20 down to 16. But they've made the correct decision by using 22 down to 20 taper. It's a very slight taper. Normally I'd be critical of this because I prefer the industry standard of 22 down to 18, but in this case I'm not going to be critical. They've made the correct decision because this is a large head of the piece, 46 millimeters, as you can see. It does wear with wrist presence, but the surprising thing is there is a lack of heft. I fully expected this to weigh in excess of 200 grams because it is a solid ceramic head of the piece on a solid ceramic bracelet. I thought it was going to be well over 200 grams. It's actually only 158 grams, which is the kind of heft one would expect with a stainless steel case and also a stainless steel bracelet made from 316L grade stainless steel. So in terms of heft, it doesn't feel top heavy. On the fluoro rubber strap, yes, it does feel top heavy because it is 15.8 millimeters thick, and that is largely due to the double dome sapphire crystal, which has a very high dome. So it does wear with wrist presence, and straight away I'm going to say if you have a 6 to 7 inch wrist, you may find that it's too heavy and also too top heavy to wear for long periods of time, such as 8 to 12 hours per day, particularly on the fluoro rubber strap. But on the ceramic bracelet, it actually feels more balanced because of the 22 to 20 taper. Nice slight taper. And there's a beautiful sheen and beautiful luster to the ceramic links, as you can see. Now, CIGA Design deserve full credit here because ceramic is an incredibly difficult material to work with. It's harder to machine and polish than stainless steel or titanium, for example. and they have to heat up the ceramic head of the piece to the very high melting point of 1800 degrees Celsius. They also have to heat up the bracelet links when they're moulding them to 1800 degrees Celsius in order to mould them into the shape of the links and mould the head of the piece. And then after, when it's cooled down, they polish the ceramic to get this nice glossy sheen to it, as you can see. Now, they could have used a stainless steel bracelet and black PVD coated it, but that would have been the incorrect decision, because the problem with black PVD coating is it scratches and scuffs easily, and then it shows through the bare metal underneath the stainless steel, and it does of course wear off eventually. And they could have used the cost-cutting measure of a stainless steel bracelet, but they used the more expensive option of solid ceramic links. Ceramic is of course harder and more scratch resistant than PVD coating, and therefore in time this isn't going to wear and it's not going to scratch easily and scuff easily. So both the head of the piece and the bracelet are solid ceramic. Nice contrast with the metallic finish of the 24 karat gold plating to the dial, as you can see, and it's beautiful the way it catches the light. So the black and gold is a nice contrast. It does feel very well balanced on the bracelet, but it does feel top heavy on the fluoro rubber strap, so that's something to consider. Right, so there's no loom on the dial or the rings, so therefore we don't need to do a loom test. So let's discuss the movement used. So this uses the same movement as in the Blue Planet titanium version, which I previously reviewed. It's a CIGA Design automatic, which is customized by CIGA Design, and as you can see the rotor is decorated. It has 30 joules, it's an automatic with 28,800 vibrations per hour and a frequency of 4 Hz. It has hand winding and hacking, which is used for complications. 40-hour power reserve is perfectly acceptable, and the stated accuracy of the caliber is -15 to +30 seconds per day, so a rather wide accuracy range. However, I'm pleased to report that this one is well regulated by CIGA Design, and it's running consistently at +6 seconds per day, which is excellent. So similar accuracy to the Elabor grade of SW200-1 or the ETA 2824-2, although it's not a clone of the aforementioned. It's not a PT5000 because it has 30 joules versus the 25 joules of the PT5000, which is a clone of the ETA 2824-2. So it's a different architecture to the movement, 30 joules versus the 25 joules of the PT5000. So although it does look similar in the architecture to a PT5000, the 30 joules means that the architecture is different, and it is an original caliber made by CIGA Design. So reliable movements because it's been used in the Blue Planet titanium version since 2021, and now in 2023 there are no reliability issues reported with the caliber, and I'm absolutely confident in the reliability, the build quality, quality control and the accuracy. -15 to +30 is a wide accuracy range, but as I've detailed, this one is +6, which is perfectly acceptable. So no negatives to the movement whatsoever. I like that it's got hand winding and hacking, and also like that it runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour and 4 Hz, which are the industry standard. Nice compromise between power reserve and accuracy. 40 hours is perfectly acceptable for a daily wear piece. So lastly, I'll summarise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet 2 criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price point. So as I've detailed, the price point of this watch will be $1,999. However, from the 12th to the 14th of March, it will be discounted by $100 to $1,899. So I'm going to base my appraisal on the price point of $1,899. Yes, I consider it to be excellent quality, and yes, I consider it to be excellent value at $1,899. CIGA Design deserve full credit for using innovative materials and production processes, because this has a solid ceramic head of the piece and a solid ceramic bracelet. Ceramic is an incredibly difficult material to work with. It's brittle and it's hard. Usually I would be critical of brands using push pins in a bracelet at this price point rather than using screw pins, but of course one cannot tap threads into ceramic links. Push pins are the only option because ceramic is hard and brittle. If they try to tap it, it would chip and crack. So stainless steel push pins are acceptable. The bracelet articulates very well. It's silky smooth. It doesn't have any extra play in it. It doesn't rattle, doesn't pull arm hairs. There are no sharp edges to the undersides of the flanks of the bracelet, and as you can see, It's absolutely silky smooth the way it articulates, and the benefit of it being solid ceramic links rather than stainless steel, which is black PVD coated, is, as I've detailed, this will not scuff and scratch. Ceramic is incredibly hard and scratch resistant, which is why it's used in bezel inserts. It's far more hard and scratch resistant than stainless steel and also aluminium. And this one articulates absolutely beautifully. No play in it whatsoever, doesn't rattle, and no sharp edges to it. In terms of how it feels on wrist, the ceramic links feel exactly the same as 316L grade stainless steel links. They're perfectly smooth and polished, and no sharp corners to them, no sharp edges, so it doesn't scratch or cut the wrist, and it doesn't pull arm hairs. So they've done a very good job, as you can see. The bracelet ceramic links articulate very smoothly. This is a high quality bracelet. Also, with regards to the deploying clasp, it's very well executed. Flawless mirror polishing to the stainless steel, which is then 24 karat gold plated to perfection. This is perfection personified. To get 24 karat gold plating in a watch at this price point, $1,899 is unprecedented. One doesn't get a ceramic head of the piece, ceramic bracelet and 24 karat gold plating on a deploying clasp at this price point, so it is incredible. And for that reason, I'm going to say yes, excellent quality and excellent value. No negatives to the watch whatsoever. I'm going to highly recommend it to you for consideration. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the CIGA Design Blue Planet Gilded Age. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.